Hello class, welcome back. Wanted to talk a little bit more about globalization this week. It's a fascinating topic. The more I dig into it, the more involved it becomes. But I really wanted to spend a little bit of time around, the concept of globalization. In a lot of ways, you could consider the different nations in the world like customers in a marketplace. So globalization represents each of those customers doing business with each other, obtaining goods and services, in the form of importing and exporting. So one of the topics within that becomes whether a company is operating at a trade surplus or a trade deficit. So a trade surplus is going to be when your exports exceed your imports. So basically you are making more money by exporting goods or services to other countries than you're spending to import goods or services into your country. So that would be considered a trade surplus. A trade deficit is the opposite. So you're going to be importing more goods or services than you're exporting. So you're operating at a bit of a loss there. So, on the surface, when you look at, do I want my country to be operating at a trade surplus or a trade deficit? I would say on the surface it seems that a trade surplus would always be an advantageous situation for a country to be operating in, and that a trade deficit usually would be a bad sign. But with most things in economics, it's usually not always that simple. So as we dig into the concept of a trade deficit further, take into consideration the fact that when you have a strong economy, your unemployment rate's going to be lower. So you're going to have more people employed in the workplace. You're going to have more of your people with a disposable income, and so they're going to be looking to dispose of that income. They're going to be looking to spend. So what do we do when we're looking to spend? Well, a lot of times we want to purchase goods or services. So by that strength in that side of the economy, it can actually drive imports up for a nation, which can create a trade deficit. If there's more of a demand for, technology, maybe we're going to even increase our already substantial imports from China, and end up that there's such a demand for that in the marketplace that that companies go into business and import more of those goods. Trade deficits aren't always a negative sign in the economy, and in fact the United States pretty consistently operates in a trade deficit. And we're considered to have one of the stronger economies, and our currency happens to be one of the more stable currencies in the world. So some other interesting topics from the chapter I was interested to see there in chapter 4 that are one of our biggest partners for importing and exporting is actually Canada. So you don't always consider Canada to have a major world economy, but as it relates to doing business with us, they really do. A big piece of that is related to NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, which provides favorable trading conditions for the United States and our two partners here in North America, obviously Canada and Mexico. And there's just a tremendous amount of business that's done between oil and the timber industries between the United States and Canada. So pretty interesting there as well. So take those into consideration, especially as you're digging into your on the case project this week. Start considering the global presence of the business that you've been researching, and we'll look forward to talking about it more with you guys in class this week. All right, thanks.